What's up everybody, welcome back to another tea time video. If you're new here, we've been doing tea time for about 3 days strong, and here I just share topics with you about self-care, holistic wellness, fitness, food, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, all those things, because I am a very committed advocate for all of those things. So hopefully this video resonates with you, and if it does, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. If not this one, I'm sure a past one or a future one will resonate with you. So go ahead and check out the videos, and if you like them, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any other videos. So we're gonna hop right into it. First, let y'all know what I'm sipping on, because we do have the tea. So this tea is a tea time original, a whole fit you original. So I actually made this one. There's no like brand or blend, special blend that I can spotlight, but I can tell you what's in it. So in this glass, I don't know if you can see it, I don't want to spill it. It's like a dark purple, hue. It almost looks brown. But I actually made this tea. I added a tablespoon of the lemon ginger sea moss that I made, sea moss gel, a little bit of lavender honey, and for the actual tea, so that's the stuff that I put in the glass before I poured the tea. For the actual tea, there is 2 tablespoons of elderberries, 2 tablespoons of ginger, both dried, and then 2 little lemon slices. So that's what I put in here. I am going to be working on the recipe. This is the second time I made it, so I'm going to be working on it and perfecting it. So stay tuned, because in the future I'm not going to have this delicious tea all to myself. I am going to want to share it with you guys. So if you stay here and you become an avid listener for tea time and everything that I have to offer and share with you, then you will know as soon as I have some tea ready to be shared with you guys. So that's what I'm sipping on. That was the first taste. It's really good. So now, next part of our show is we're gonna pick an affirmation. So I did not pick an affirmator this morning, so I'm gonna pick it now. That's why I like doing these tea time videos. Well, that's a part of why I like doing the tea time videos, because it holds me accountable too. So as long as I commit to filming the videos every day, then I'm held accountable, and I have to, pick my affirmations, take a minute, slow down, give my time and attention to this, because it's very important. If you guys are enjoying, so these affirmators I mentioned in the last few videos, they're all backwards. I mentioned in the last few videos though that I got these from Target, but I am actually working on a set of my very own personal affirmation cards that I'm hoping to have ready for you guys by the end of the month. So it's June. If you're listening or you're watching this after June, then the cards should already be ready to go. They're gonna be scrambled. I don't know how they got mixed up, but if you're watching after June is over, the cards are ready to go. So hopefully you'll just be able to click the link and order your cards. But if you're watching right now, then just stay tuned for the cards. Let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in, and if affirmations are your thing, or what you know about affirmations. If you don't know much, let me know, because I could talk all day about affirmations. So we'll probably have a video about them soon. Like my motherhood journey and family life. Thursdays are dedicated to motherhood and family life. No rhyme or reason as to why I picked Thursdays, other than I just need a system to follow so that I can be consistent with the videos. Today I'm actually going to talk about self-care. Well, this one doesn't matter. It's how to use the cards. But I'm talking about self-care and my favorite ways to practice self-care. I connect that to my motherhood journey because self-care is more needed and important, valuable, and crucial to my journey now since becoming a mother than it has ever been in my life. I see it in a new light. I understand it differently. Whether you're a mother or not, this video is going to be beneficial to you just because self-care is like mandatory. It's vital for our happiness and our success. So if you're gonna have a self-care practice, like a real self-care practice, more than just like massages and like, you know, manicures and stuff, which that counts too, but if you're gonna have anything like beneath the surface that you consider self-care and a self-care practice or routine, then keep watching this video because I'm gonna explain self-care in maybe a different way than what you guys are used to hearing. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle one more time, and let's pick one. Close my eyes, just let them kind of split. Pick the one that resonates with me most. Is this one or two? This feels like two. I'm just drop them and see if they separate. They can separate. Okay. There we go. Here's the card. Don't know if you can read it. Don't know if the camera's focused, but I'm gonna read it anyway. So this card is titled Confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. Wow. Okay, anyway. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ that is? Wow. I like that. I'm gonna read it one more time. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ that is? This is like a flex. Like, this card is confidence to flex at least one time. So I think it's very funny that, I mean, it's not about motherhood, but the fact that it says the pride of a good mother is just like kind of like, you know, confirmation that this is a topic that we're supposed to be talking about today. Like, we're supposed to be highlighting motherhood today, or even if you're not a mother, like I said, still going to be valuable information. But I just think it's funny that it spoke of a good mother. So it says I take a step back and look at myself. So that's kind of like, you know how if you're a mother, or if you're a father watching this, or if you're an aunt or an uncle, whatever it might be, and you have this young child, this young innocent child that you're so impressed with when they do things like say actually, or they say something that you didn't expect them to say, something that you think you're just mind blown by. Looking at yourself like that, like even the smallest things, like saying actually is a really small thing, but when it comes to like someone who's young and innocent and you didn't realize they knew that word, you make it into a big thing. You have a lot of pride around that thing. So this card is basically saying to look at yourself in that way. And it says, I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. You have so much value. You have so much to offer. You have so much to be proud of. And this card, you should be confident in yourself. You should be proud of yourself and what you do and what you can do and what you are currently doing. Like, be proud of yourself and don't be afraid to flex, because like you are like having this thriving business or this amazing job, or whether the things are small, like a toddler saying actually. So I hope this card resonates with you guys. You are an A+. Can you believe what an A+ that is? That's what it says. So I love it. So I'm gonna put this one, actually I'm gonna put it to the side so I can look back at it tonight. Okay, so there are 4 self-care practices that I want to highlight today in this video. I have a multitude of self-care practices, but these 4 are the ones that really stood out to me today, and I want to start off. If any of these practices resonate with you, or if you do them too, please share in the comments. If not, still share in the comments what your key self-care practices are that make you feel your best, mother or not. So number 1, the biggest self-care practice that I prioritize, that I try to prioritize every single day, is my morning routine. So I think I spoke about it in a previous video, how vital a morning routine is and how it gives you the power and control to not only ground yourself for the day, but to actually take control of your day. Because we know if we don't take control of our day from the jump, then the day is going to find a way to take control of us, and it's a lot harder to do it that way. It's much easier, much more rewarding to take control of the day and then you execute throughout. So my morning routine, basically, so with me being a mother with my specific child, because every kid is different, AJ wakes up, usually it is 7, sometimes it's 6:30 a.m. but lately it's been leaning closer to 8 to 8:30, which is good. But considering that she does wake up so early, my morning routine, I have to start it before she wakes up, or else it can either be compromised or it won't happen at all. And so I set my alarm. I set my alarm to wake up at least 2 hours before she does. So most of the time this happens. If it doesn't happen, if I still have time or I have a little bit of leeway, wiggle room to fit in my morning routine, I do try to do so. But sometimes it doesn't always happen because I can't predict the future or when she's gonna wake up or what mood she'll be in. But my morning routine basically consists of cleaning my face, right, and brushing my teeth, which I'm going to talk about skincare in the next point. But my morning routine consists of cleaning my face, moisturizing, brushing my teeth, moisturizing my hair, kind of grooming it. It's locked, so it's not that much work that goes into it, but you can tell the difference between whether it's been attended to or not. So brushing my teeth, doing my hair, cleaning my face, and then stretching, a very like in-depth stretch, just depending on how I feel in my body and where I feel like, or how I feel like I need to move it and stretch it out to like feel nice and, you know, ready for the day. And then the last thing that I do is I plan out my day hour by hour. I have an hour by hour planner always, and I plan out exactly what's going to happen. I account for naps, I account for meals, I account for tantrums and timeouts, everything. I try to make sure there's space. And then of course my top goals for the day, which could be anywhere from 3 to 4 main priorities that I want to get done for the day. So that's my morning routine. That is a self-care practice that I prioritize, because I know that if I don't get my face clean in the morning, I might not clean it. If I don't brush my teeth in the morning, I might not brush them. Same thing applies for my hair, and we know that if I don't plan my day will plan itself. Stretching as well. So that's so important to me because being a mother, among other things, being a business owner, being a vlogger, being someone who advocates for self-care, mental health, and wellness, I can't show up in that capacity if I'm not grounding myself first thing in the morning. I'm just like any old regular Joe who doesn't prioritize these things when I don't ground myself at the top of the morning. So that's why that's number one, my morning routine. If you know me, you know, like, if my morning routine is thrown off, then I have an attitude for the day. And that's not a good thing. I'm working on it. But that's how important and crucial my morning routine is to me. My second self-care practice is going to be my skincare routine. So my skin is not like the most flawless skin, but it's a lot better than it has been. So a little bit of background. Recently, maybe a couple months ago, I went through like some relationship stuff, right? So like a breakup, you know, when you go through relationship stuff or when you go through a breakup, it's like, I'm putting me first, like I'm prioritizing things that I wasn't giving attention to in a relationship, right? So during this time, I was like practicing a whole lot more self-care. I got a facial, right? I got a facial. I went back home, and one of the things I wanted to do was get a facial. So I learned so much during this facial. Like she pulled out all the stops, like the extractions, the exfoliations. She zapped my face, all of these things. And while she was doing it, she was also sharing with me all of this information that I didn't know. Like, you're not supposed to pick your pimples. Why didn't I know that? I don't know, but now I know. And ever since knowing those things, knowing what kind of products do what kinds of things, and knowing that like vitamin C is good for your skin, and learning that my skin is oily, or no, my skin is dry and not oily, was just something else that kind of like was mind-blowing for me. But it taught me how to better care for my skin, and when you look good, you feel good. So this is why it's another one of my main self-care practices. I rarely go to bed anymore since learning these things without cleaning my face. I wash my pillowcases a whole lot more often than I did, and I feel like all of that contributes to the level of self-care that I'm practicing, because once you know better, you have to do better. You can't unknow the things that you learn, or else it just turns into self-sabotage. So drinking my water, cleaning my face, prioritizing my skincare, because I know that when my skin looks good, I feel like, you know, unstoppable. I feel flawless. So that is number 2. Number 3 for my self-care priorities is going to be journaling. So these things are not in any like set order of importance, but they are in order of like the things that get done the most. So journaling, I don't journal as much as I would want to, and that's only because there's no excuse for it other than I just don't. I could and I will, but that's why it's number 3, because I could be doing it a lot more often. I should be doing it as often as I clean my face and do my morning routine. But nonetheless, journaling is a practice that allows me to get my thoughts out, put them on paper, get them organize the jumble that might exist in my brain. Sometimes journaling is a way to get that stuff on paper. And I'm a writer. Like in school, I try to write down everything. I take notes on everything. When I'm studying, I'm writing things down multiple times. I'm using flashcards, writing things down, because when I write things down and when you write things down, it gives it more weight. It makes it more solid when you write it down, especially like when it comes to your goals, your intentions, your priorities. So journaling is very healing for me because it allows me to express myself even if I'm not talking to a person. It allows me to kind of express myself to myself. So when I'm writing the things out, because it's one thing when you're just having all these thoughts in your mind and you're kind of concentrating on a whole lot of things at once, which means you're not really concentrating on anything at all. But when you're writing, you're concentrating on how to articulate what you're thinking and how you're feeling, and you're kind of unpacking as you process that jumble in your mind. You're kind of unpacking it, you're organizing it. And a lot of times when I journal, if not during the journaling process, do I find clarity? I find it when I kind of journal and then move on and then refer back. So if you have a journal, I'm sure you have looked back like maybe at the beginning of the year or months or weeks or days ago, and you can see like, dang, like that's where I was at that time. And you can always see where you have evolved or where you have room to evolve or make changes or grow. So journaling is a very important self-care practice for me. I always keep a journal, whether I write in it every single day like I would want to or not. I always have a journal. There's never a time where I don't have a journal to write in when I need a journal. Let me know in the comments how you feel about journaling, if you've ever tried it or if you're gonna try it based on my suggestions and recommendation. Highly recommend journaling. So throughout life, you know, as we grow and get older, when reading becomes more of a chore than a pleasure, we get away from it. So recently I have gotten back into reading, and reading just like the knowledge is endless when you invest in books that resonate with you, and it just helps me to learn more about myself. A few books. Here's one book I'll spotlight real quick. The 4 Agreements. This book my book club just finished, just closed off, and it just reveals so much about you to yourself, and not just about you but about everything. There's a book on everything, and when you take the time to invest in learning about whatever it is that you're interested in, then that investment comes back to you. So an analogy for reading is like, reading is exercise for the brain. So we exercise our muscles with like weights and training and things like that, but the brain is also a muscle, and when we read, that's how we strengthen that muscle, that's how we tone up that muscle, that's how we get it moving more efficiently and sharper. And so reading is one of those things that I will consider a self-care practice, for the simple fact that putting the time in, taking the time to prioritize it, is an act of investing in yourself, and it's an act of showing yourself kindness, showing yourself grace, because you are literally stopping everything, because there's not too much you can do while reading. So you're stopping everything to invest your time in something that brings you joy, it brings you knowledge, it brings you clarity. So all of those things all of those things just contribute to making you a better, more healed, more evolved and knowledgeable person. So those are my 4 main self-care practices that I try to prioritize as often as possible. Please comment below 1, 2, 3, or 4 of your favorite ways to practice self-care, and if any of these practices resonated with you, leave that in the comment section below too. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and share this video everywhere. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next tea time video. Peace.